Back again with another one. Bad News Brown breaking it down. Now in this video, I will be explaining why Oakland is called the land of the bosses. And let me put a disclaimer because I'm not making this up. This was actually told to me by someone who not even from the town while I was on my way to prison. Oh, you from Oakland? You from the land of the bosses. And of course, at that time, I didn't make too much of it. Now, I've heard the term before, but it stuck. Now, to properly answer this question, we would have to go back. Now, if you're new to my channel, I made a video a while back explaining why there's no Crips and Bloods in Oakland. And it's due to the Black Panthers, the original bosses. And not just the bosses of Oakland, but that's another story. So we got to take it there. Now in that video I explained after COINTELPRO and the FBI and crack hit, Oakland became New Jack City. And we had a few Nino Browns out here and they pushed the line. Now recently there's a new channel out there called Evil Streets TV. I suggest y'all check it out. And the channel was speaking about plenty other notables from other cities, but they got a lot of them talking about Oakland. And this is because Oakland is the land of the bosses. Now let me break it down. Now in my opinion, being that the Black Panthers was the fiercest group we ever had, and they actually stood for something righteous that pretty much was the black man in his highest state of development. Grave efforts was made not to allow that to happen again. And being that the city of Oakland is the birthplace of that type of resistance, in my opinion, I think them peoples flooded Oakland, and they did every inner city in America. But Oakland in particular, they flooded it, overflow, to whereas a bigger city like LA, Chicago, they kind of like pack Oakland with the same amount of dynamite, if you ask me. And that spawned a whole bunch of bosses. I'm just going to put it like that. Now, this is not to glorify none of this. This is just to simply answer that question. Now, I'm going to reference again at Evil Streets TV because they are definitely mentioning some notables. Now, me, being that I grew up in Oakland, I know all the names. I know a lot of the stories, and I know some of the things. Now, when you watch some of the videos, it's, for the most part, I'm going to say it's accurate for the most part. Now, there's a few inconsistencies, but not enough to, I'm not going to mention them too. But let's just say a lot of things took place, and I remember because my childhood was like fresh. So I've been in certain rooms. I know certain peoples. And the cold thing about it is, it's still a few other Nino Browns that ain't even been mentioned. And probably never will be mentioned. But the point is, a city like Oakland, at this junction, wasn't spawning no gangs because, as I mentioned, the dope pushed the line. And these stories is a prime example of how drugs, and there's a few other cities where the dope was first and foremost as opposed to the gang culture, but Oakland, it was that or nothing, to where if you wasn't hustling, you couldn't even consider yourself a gangster or hard, or they didn't care about nothing else unless you was a jacker or you was just a stepper like that. Other than that, we didn't care. If you wasn't busting no knocks, you not a gangbanger. That's how we looked at it in the town. And as I mentioned in a prior video, the dope gang switched up, and now we got what we got now. But Oakland is still Oakland. It's still hood based, and as you see in them stories, man, they mention a lot of VIPs when it comes to the criminal element. A whole lot, and again, a lot of stuff. I was there. I remember them hubbers. I remember them long lines in Camel Village. Drug addicts waiting to cop. I remember that. And again, this is not to glorify this here, because essentially that was me witnessing our destruction. But it is what it is, and I'm sure every city, I know every city had their share of hitters or whatever. This is not to say what city had more hitters. That ain't where I'm getting at. And like I said, bosses. We're not talking about steppers or just cats who ran it up real quick. We talking about real line pushers. There's a few line pushers out here in the town. You know, and this is just crazy, because when you see the little videos, you like, God damn. And again, there's a lot more to be told, and a lot of it is not to be told, if you get my drift. So a lot of stories or a lot of things that transpired, you gonna never know unless you was there or involved. That simple. But that's why Oakland is called the land of the bosses, because after the Black Panthers came, the dope took over, and the Nino Browns, plural, took over. It wasn't no one or two or three Nino Browns. It was a few. And as you see, you watch the videos, you see the stories, and you take it how you want to. But when you think about Oakland, aside for the Panthers, that militant structure, next is going to be the hustling. If you're not hustling, you in the way. So, if anything, in my opinion, I'm not even going to get into that, because the town is the town. Cats gonna do what they do, whether the youngsters or not, whoever. But you better be hustling. Period. 9 to 5 and doing something. If not, you're in the way. And that's how Oakland always been. Moving and grooving, hustling, stepping. You know, and I'm not trying to highlight the negativity, because it's definitely, and that's why I referenced the Panthers, because that's where it all started. This is why Oakland is Oakland. This would put the town on the trajectory that it is on, for better, for worse, being that it got double pounded power pack with the crack, and it's still like that to this day, although they got these new, I'm just gonna call them designer drugs. But all in all, it's still the same. Oakland is Oakland. Oakland gonna be Oakland. And it is what it is. We hold our own, always have, always will, and that's how we land. You know, town business. And that's the business right there, man. Don't be in the way. You don't disrespect the gang. You know, the gang will tax that ass, as you know. And this is in any city, the same rules apply, but Oakland, man, but it's something about that town business, man, that get it wild. Where you think all that sideshow stuff come from? That's us. That's how we doing it. We out here, and we doing what we want to do. That what started all that. Clean whips, high performance. That's town business. That's what we into. And I remember a while back, years ago, we used to put the Shy Show videos, and certain cats out of state would see it and be like, what the hell is they doing? Like, this is crazy. Like, y'all just tearing stuff up. And now every city side showing now. So, trendsetters as well. Nothing new. You know, Oakland, Bay Area, we gonna hold our own, and that's the way it is. You know, and for sure you got real and fake everywhere in every city, but this is the land of the bosses. Oakland. And of course you got other cities and y'all got y'all bosses and steppers. But Oakland was concentrated with them, power packed with them. You underdig? So that's what this video pretty much is explaining. Why Oakland is the land of the bosses. For those that don't know, you may not have heard that term, and let you know it's not just a term. It's not just what we say. No, it's the truth. Whether you from Oakland, you don't even know that, because I know a lot of this stuff is, years ago, because I was a youngin' seeing all this. So you got a lot of cats out here that's from the town business, and don't even truly know the history. They may be walking down certain spots, certain places, and don't even know. Matter of fact, that's going to be my next. Well, I was going to do that video anyway on location. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to show y'all some things, man. This is Bad News Brown. I'm going to continue breaking it down, man. The town business, man, land of the bosses, man. Go ahead, hit that like and subscribe, man. Wherever you from, man, rep your city, man. It's all good, man. Take control of your community, man, and we can redirect it into something else, a little something more structured, a little something more positive. I'm going to put it as that, man, but I'm out. Town B is what it is.